And what happens to? All right, I'm afraid we're going to have to leave. We've got some breaking news going. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, sorry about that. We do have some breaking news here. We want to take you straight to Miami. We know very little about the situation that's taking place right now, but we have a car chase on our hands. John, I know you're familiar with this area more than most because you spent a lot of time working down in Florida.
Well, I lived there, worked there for a number of years, lived there for 14. Hard to tell, obviously, from this shot where we are.
Maybe let's go ahead and listen.
Let's listen to WSVN.
Damage on the vehicle there. We'll go in very tight now that we're stabilizing a little bit here. And you can see now into oncoming traffic here as it heads southbound on 57th Avenue. We've got a BSO sheriff right next to him. He's going to go through an intersection here that's coming up. He's got a left and right turn signal here. This is very, very dangerous here. Through that through that traffic light there as it continues to go southbound. Now I'm looking at, it looks like West 68th Place as it comes through. Here's an intersection now making a left-hand turn, and it's going to be going eastbound here on what would be the equivalent of 119th Street, West 68th. Continues to be followed by 3 Broward Sheriff's Office vehicles, and we are now on the, let me just get my bearing here. We're south of Amelia Earhart Park, eastbound, going eastbound. Still pursued by officers from Broward Sheriff's Office. This chase beginning, first we heard of it was up on I-75 coming southbound. It's going to pull into here. Looks like a bailout is occurring here. The door was open, door's open again. Police officers now, a collision there between a Broward Sheriff's Office vehicle as it makes a right-hand turn here. We're in the neighborhood now. We're in the city neighborhood in what would be the equivalent of Hialeah, East Hialeah. Just weaving through the neighborhoods here. We'll try to pick up an address for you.
All right, that's Ralph Rayburn, the chopper pilot for WSVN. This chase apparently started in Broward County. They are now in Dade County to the south, home of Miami. It's actually officially called Miami Metro-Dade County now. But you can see this guy is just absolutely oblivious to anybody else's safety. He is roaring through residential neighborhoods. It apparently started as a traffic stop after some kind of a car accident. Let's listen in again to WSVN.
Control devices and for stop signs there. And we are now back continuing eastbound. We're going eastbound here. And let me see here. I'm looking for an address. We're still to the south of Amelia Earhart Park, which puts us just south of Opa-locka Airport here. We're continuing now just past the Opa-locka Flea Market. Again, I'm just looking for landmarks here to give folks at home an idea of exactly where this chase has continuing on. Almost involved in an accident there with another Broward Sheriff's Office vehicle. Now we're having the vehicle making a left turn and now coming northbound again. It looks like we're going to get a little bit of what's called a tip here. The police officer trying to get up to the back corner of the vehicle and just tip it slightly as it's continuing at high speed to get the vehicle to spin out. Here you go. Watch it now. There it goes. There's the tip drill. Collides with 2 other vehicles. There are people inside. There's going to be a bailout. There's one person running, another person with their hands up. The driver's still in the vehicle. We're going to back out here and see. We've got the police officers taking this guy down here. We're going to stay with this just for a second here. We don't want to lose. Okay, they've got guns drawn. He is on the ground. That is a subject in custody there. We're going to swing back over. We'll stay on this for a second here. Hang on. He's complying with police officers to stay still as they cuff him now. More officers showing up here on the scene. Another officer running over. Okay, we've got the suspects in the vehicle being dragged out here. We've got one guy being dragged by his heel. He's complying with the police officers too. He doesn't look like he's in too good shape. He's over. We got more guys trying to force the driver here out of the vehicle. A lot happening here, folks. We're trying to show you everything that we can. We're bringing the camera back out here a little bit wider there. You can see everything that's happening here. We're going to give you an address as soon as I can take my eyes off the screen here. We are East 5th Avenue and East 68th. I think we got that address out there. Okay. Yeah, East 5th Avenue and East 68th Street in Hialeah. This chase is over, a chase that lasted for the better part of about 15 or 20 minutes from the time we heard it and launched to go out. And you can see they now have subjects in custody all over the place here. again in Hialeah. Chase has started up on I-75. A number of police officers, a number of agencies now trying to sort this out, and we're trying to make a determination to exactly why the police were chasing this vehicle. But obviously the driver and the passengers did not want to stop, and finally ended up in a crash here when a police officer tipped the back of the vehicle, got it to spin out, collided with two parked vehicles here in Hialeah.
Well, you can see the mayhem that ensued after this police chase began in Broward County, Florida, ended up in Hialeah, which is in Miami-Dade County. It's actually not too far from where I used to live on East 56th Street. They wound up on East 68th Street. What started this all, we don't know for sure.
Well, we do have some local reports that we want to pass on to you. Police were apparently chasing these guys because they're burglary suspects. We had another initial reports that maybe this started at a traffic stop, but obviously a lot of sketchy information. And big credit to WSVN Ralph Rayburn. He's the helicopter pilot that was narrating that for you. And if we can, we want to show you that video. We're going to watch this scene, but we have to show you guys this video of what the police did. You don't see something get much better than that. I mean, that was probably playing just about as perfect as you can get.
Well, and you could tell that the police had made the decision that this was getting so dangerous, they were going to have to make that pit maneuver, it's called, to turn that car around. Very often police try to hang back, not pursue these cars too quickly because they don't want to drive the driver into doing something really crazy, mowing down a bunch of pedestrians, hitting another car head on, that kind of thing. But this guy was driving so erratically and so, frankly, so crazily that they decided to employ that pit maneuver.
Well, you can see too, going through residential areas. These were not like the highway where you're around a bunch of cars.
Right.
You're around residential areas where obviously a lot of people have their homes. And we're taking a look again at this video as the police officers came in. You could see some of them look like they used some taser devices on some of these guys, but we're still trying to get a count on how many people were actually in that car because it's tough to tell. They were just pulling them out every which way. You saw one even break into a run after they did that pit maneuver.
And it also appears that they pulled the guy out of that silver car at the top of the screen that was run into by the suspect car. What that is all about, we don't know. Maybe he had some choice words for the officers. Who knows? But this is going to be a wild one to sort out. All taking place in Hialeah, Florida, Miami-Dade County, where at least it looked like 4 suspects maybe got pulled out of that car, possibly a burglary, certainly a chase, and it was a wild one. We'll try to get some more information for you and update you as best we can.
We sure will. You don't get stories like that very often. New next hour as well. We're going to be covering a few stories for you, but we will go ahead and leave you with that picture, or maybe not. We'll take it out another way as well. A major offensive against Al-Qaeda now underway in Yemen.